It's the rubber game of a three-game set from Great American Ballpark along the banks of the Ohio as two Central Division rivals tangle. The Milwaukee Brewers and the Cincinnati Reds, a little Sunday matinee tilt coming up. And hi again, everyone. Alongside the Cowboy, Jeff Brantley, I'm Jim Day. Thanks for joining us for Reds baseball. Tough one last night for the home squad. No way around it. But if you're looking for positives, they can win the series today. And Joey Votto last night seemed to have that Votto stroke down.
Yeah, and it seems like, Jim, he's been swinging the bat better as of late. 353 in July, and you'd like to believe this is the Joey Votto that we saw last year in the second half. Starting to get hot, starting to really drive the ball. You look at some of the hits that he had last night. One to left, he hits one up the middle. The next thing you know, he's got another one back up the box, and then he drills one down the right field line for a double. When he's being able to spray the ball around the way he is right now, that tells me that he's seeing the ball awfully well, and that's a great sign for the Reds.
Got a couple of righties going to the hill today. Dan Straily for Cincinnati. Now on the other end, Zach Davies, a guy that's putting together a pretty good season.
Yeah, I think when you look at both of these guys are surprises for their individual teams. Straily obviously is a surprise for the Reds, picked him up right at the end of spring training, but he's been a very reliable starter. The last couple of times out, he's kept the Reds in the ball game. One game they won, one game they could not. Davies is a guy that might give you 6 innings, so we will see bullpen today, and we will see offense.
In addition to dealing with Ryan Braun in the middle of that lineup, Dan Straily will have to deal with all-star Jonathan Lucroy.
Yeah, that was not a real good situation last night after having a strikeout. Think you have a strikeout, you come back, you make a mistake, and Lucroy makes you pay. But that's what good hitters do, and you've got two awfully good hitters right in the middle of this Brewer lineup, Jonathan Lucroy and Ryan Braun. Those are two guys, I guarantee you, they are on the mind of Dan Straily this afternoon.
And they like to see the Reds since 2012. Lucroy and Ryan Braun, the highest slugging percentage against the Reds in the league. On the other side, Jeff McClure with more on Dan Straily and another appearance by the Cowboys. We set you up for Game 3 of a three-game set, Reds and Brewers.
Brought to you by Cincinnati USA Regional Tourism Network. Stay close to CincinnatiUSA.com. And by Skyline Chili. Feeling good, it's Skyline time.
Hey guys, meteorologist Brandon Orr here from Local 12. You know, yesterday it was pretty nice. Humidity wasn't too bad. Yeah, there was a lot of sunshine, but temperatures into the low to mid 80s. Not so much today. Heat, there's a lot of it. And 90 degrees by the time we get towards the end of the game. A little bit of humidity, but at least we're keeping the game dry. Enjoy the game right here on Fox Sports Ohio.
Well, that ball should be jumping. Well, Brian Price rearranged his starting rotation to start this second half. He got a nice start in the first game back from Anthony DeSclafani. He did not from John Lamb yesterday, and today John Lamb was demoted to Louisville. More on that a little bit later. But today it's Dan Straily's turn, and it's time now for our third installment on the starting rotation. Here's the Cowboy, Jeff Brantley, with more on Dan Straily.
Dan Straily, no stranger to the big leagues. He's been down this road before, and I think he understands how he needs to finish, and he needs to finish strong. If he wants to stay in this rotation, he's got to continue to go out and put up 6 and 7 innings each time out. I think he can do it. Great slider, good fastball command. Where Straily needs to improve is in the mental department, as far as letting things get away from him in the middle of the ball game. The 3 walks in a row, the 4 or 5 runs in a row, and then 3 innings on both sides of that of scoreless baseball. You got to smooth it out. He can do it. He's got a great slider. He's got great fastball location, and that changeup, well, it's got some bottom to it.
All right, let's hope it works today because the bullpen worked 7 innings of no-run baseball yesterday. Brian Price would love to see a long run today by starting pitcher Dan Straily. It's the rubber match, the Reds and Brewers, coming up next on Fox Sports Ohio.
First, and greet the players as they come onto the field. Get a little autograph, a little meet and greet. And that's what just happened here at GABP. It's Dan Straily out of the dugout, ready to take the hill in this rubber game of a three-game set against the Brewers. They're trying to rebound after a big loss last night. Craig Counsell, the manager for the Brewers, recorded win number 100 in his career last night. And here's how I'll line them up. BR will lead off. Scooter Gennett batting second. Braun, Lucroy, and Carter right in the middle of that lineup. Kirk Neuenhuis in center field. Middlebrooks at third. Flores in the 8th spot. And on the hill, righty Zach Davies. And Dan Straily, Cowboy, it's been up and down. What have you been most impressed about when someone asks you about Dan Straily?
I think the biggest issue for Straily is there have been times where he has gotten himself on rolls that you think, wow, I didn't realize this guy could do this. And then there have been other times that he may strike out 5 guys in a row and you think, well, this is his time to have a ball game, and all of a sudden the wheels fall off and he'll walk 3 guys in a row and then give up a home run. I think the Reds are still looking to Dan Straily to put it all together in one solid ball game, and hopefully this afternoon will be that game.
Straily comes in with a 4-6 record, 4.35 ERA. Jonathan VR in there. First pitch, a called strike, and we are underway. Mark Carlson calling balls and strikes behind the plate today. Mike DeMuro at first. Crew chief Brian Gorman at second base. Quinn Walcott down at third. That's a fair ball. Votto will take it himself, and an easy first out for Dan Straily. Here's your 4 defensive lineup for the Reds. Duvall, Hamilton, and Bruce in the outfield. Typical infield of Suarez, Cozart. Although I shouldn't say typical in Jose Peraza being out there. Joey Votto at first base. Second straight game, Brandon Phillips not in the starting lineup with that strained calf muscle. He is day-to-day and not in the starting lineup this afternoon. With one down, Scooter Gennett will step in with a .268 average. 8 home runs, 24 runs driven in. First pitch strike. Gennett born right here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Grew up in Sarasota. Had a home run here Friday night. 4 for 10 in the series with that home run. Straily ahead, no balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss.
Fastball, changeup, slider, dugout.
It's a good combination.
You like it for the Reds. Hard slider inside, following a changeup.
5 pitches in the ball game so far, all strikes for Straily. And now we'll deal with Ryan Braun. He'll step in with a team-leading .314 average. 13 home runs, 44 runs driven in. Braun this series 3 for 8. But no RBIs. But as we know, can crank it up at any time. Overall in the season, 300 average, couple of home runs versus Cincinnati pitching. Straily certainly finding the plate early in this game, ahead of Braun 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch up the middle, base hit. So Braun aboard.
Watch the changeup as it comes out of the hand of Dan Straily. It's almost an abbreviated split finger grip. And this one just doesn't quite get down into the dirt. And with a 2-strike pitch to a hitter like Braun, you've got to make sure you either bounce it or something he cannot reach.
He's able to reach that one, and with 2 outs, here's Jonathan Lucroy. He's named to a second All-Star game this season, and had a home run here last night, albeit a controversial one, in which it should have been a strikeout. Home plate umpire Quinn Walcott last night ruled it a foul ball, and after the game, Jonathan Lucroy was a stand-up guy and admitted that he did not foul that ball off. But what he thinks happened is his bat hit the plate, and the sound of it threw Walcott off, according to Jonathan Lucroy.
Well, not only did the bat hit the plate, but the ball hit the plate.
Right. So a lot of times those umpires will go on sound. And it was a missed call, and the next pitch Lucroy sent into the left field stands. But let's face it, the way last night's game went, not sure it would have mattered. Brewers would have won that game anyways. It was not the decider. Home runs versus the Reds since 2014. Braun and Lucroy. Rizzo and McCutcheon on that list. Guys you would expect in the division. Obviously, player division opponents more than the rest of the league. One-two pitch. There goes Braun. Fouled back.
I think what Craig Counsell does, the manager of the Brewers, he knows he's got these two guys coming up here, by far his best hitters in the lineup. You got VR hitting ahead of them. You try to get VR on. If you can't do that, then you're going to try to do whatever you can with these two guys to see if you can't manufacture a run. I think that's one of the reasons Ryan Braun is running here, and just in case Lucroy catches one into the gap.
Bounces up there, blocked nicely by Barnhart. Braun 7 for 10 in stolen base attempts this season. Textbook right there.
The breaking ball will bounce into the batter's box on the opposite side, and the spin will cause it to come back. If you over rotate as a catcher, sometimes it'll go between you and the batter. Barnhart, good technique there.
Two-two pitch to Lucroy. Fouled back again. Fourteen pitches now for Straily. 12 have been strikes.
Well, you watch Jonathan Lucroy enough, you realize he'll cheat early on a fastball close to him. After that, especially once he gets a strike, he's looking to go up the middle and into the right center field gap. That's what allows him to lay off those very close breaking balls, because he's looking out over the plate.
2-2 again in the air to center. Hamilton, though, has room. The Brewers strand one. Reds coming up. Coming up for the first time. Per usual, Zach Cozart step in first. Billy Hamilton batting second. Votto, Bruce, Duvall 3, 4, and 5. Suarez at third. Peraza at second base for the second straight day. And your battery mates Tucker Barnhart and Dan Straily. And on the hill, not big in as far as physical stature goes, but they say Zach Davies has some guts.
Well, not only that, he's got a pretty good idea about how to pitch. His changeup is probably his best weapon. You look at his first start of the year, 2 1/3 innings. He gave up 5 earned runs. Difficult start for the youngster. But after that, in his last 83 innings, his ERA has been 3.67. Pitched pretty well against the Reds in his last time out. He gave up 5 runs, but only 2 of those runs were earned because of the defensive miscues by the Brewers behind him.
Well, he's listed at 5'10", 150. Do battle versus Cozart, who is 0 for 3 in his career. Make that 1 for 4 in his career off of Zach Davies, and a good start for the Reds.
I'm not sure Will Middlebrooks was even ready.
Let's take a look.
First pitch swinging. Ball just to the left of Middlebrooks. It looked like he wanted to dive, but realized he didn't need to dive, and he reached over the baseball.
Reds will take it. Leadoff base hit. Now Billy Hamilton. Squares around a bunt, pulls it back.
You know, if you're an infielder, you should always be expecting the ball to be hit to you. Regardless of what batter is at the plate, you have to be thinking the mentality the ball's going to be hit to me and I'm going to do XYZ with it. Because if you're surprised by the baseball, even at third base in the hot corner or at first, that's a problem.
This time Hamilton gets it down. Davies going to have to hurry. Hamilton, that's just classic Billy Hamilton right there. And you love to see that out of Billy. Working ever so hard on bunting, and that was a good one.
Well, he kills this one where the catcher can't get to it. Pitcher has to come get it. Davies, the only chance he had was to throw the ball from where he caught it. And as soon as he raised up to throw overhand, you can forget about it.
Fifth bunt hit of the season for Hamilton. That's tied for 6th best in all of baseball. Now with 2 aboard, no out, Joey Votto, who last night had a 4-hit night. It was the 17th time he's done it in his career. And in July, hitting .353. Hit .229 in April, just .200 in May. Bumped it up to .319 in June, and so far .353 in July. So we'll see if Votto can go on one of those season-ending tears. Reds certainly hope so. 2 balls, no strikes. Votto's 1 for 3 in his career off of Zach Davies with a home run. And likes to see the Brewers this season. Those numbers would back it up. Here comes the 2-0. Softly grounded foul. Zach Davies was recalled today to start today's game. They sent him to AAA Colorado, but it wasn't because of performance. It was literally I don't want to call it a paper move because he actually was sent out, but they wanted to get another bat on their 25-man roster, knowing that Davies wouldn't pitch right before the break and wouldn't pitch until today after the break.
It's one of those moves that you can do when the kid's 23 years old.
Right.
Not sure I would have done that just from a confidence perspective for Zach Davies. He's thrown the ball awfully well for this Brewers club.
He's been one of the best Brewers pitchers. 6-1, 3.24 ERA over his last 12 starts. And they sent out the option Yadiel Rivera back to AAA Colorado Springs after last night's game.
There's been fastball changeup here to Votto in this at bat. That changeup has got to be looming in the mind of Zach Davies here.
2-2. Outside, 3-2. Certainly nibbling on Votto at this at bat. You see the pitch locations. See what he's got on the 3-2 here.
Changeup.
Into left field. Right at Braun. 1 out. Big out for Zach Davies.
Actually was a fastball. I thought that Lucroy called for a changeup, but he got a fastball down and he got it inside enough to keep Votto from driving it.
Brewers are 8-7 when Davies starts. So in a down season, he's been one of the bright spots. Now Jay Bruce. 1 out and 2 aboard.
It's one of those spots in the ball game for the Reds offense. You've got to figure out a way to get a run on the board. Doesn't have to be that massive big inning, but it could turn into that. But you've got to figure out a way to get a run on the board. When you get your first 2 guys on, you got to get something home early going.
Throw back to second base and a close play. Kozar just getting back.
If you can score here in the first inning, you automatically put Zach Davies on the defensive side. and you also put a little bit more pressure on the Brewer offense. You don't get a run home here, you start to look like last night's ball game where the Reds were able to get batters on in the first 3 innings and couldn't do anything with it. All that does is add confidence to the opponent.
Indeed. 378 hitter with runners in scoring position this season. It's been the most consistent offensive season we've seen out of Jay Bruce. He's on pace for 37 doubles, 10 triples, 32 home runs, and 113 RBIs. Could be trouble here, though. Have to hurry to get Bruce, and he's safe, but the Brewers do record the second out at second base. And it'll be first and third, 2 down.
Got Jay out in front on a changeup. You can see the whole body lane of Bruce way out over the ball, and he rolls it over. Red's fortunate that that ball was not hit hard enough. Otherwise, that is a routine double play.
Well, if the Reds indeed want to score at least 1 run, it's up to Adam Duvall here with 2 outs. Ball's had good success against Davies, 3 for 6 with a home run. That home run came back on May 27th when Davies gave up 5 runs in 5 2/3. Only 2 of those earned, excuse me. He's only had 6 hits, but he gave up costly home runs to Votto and Duvall on that day. Swing and a miss. Got him fooled. Davies a pitch away from getting out of a jam.
Davies not overpowering by any stretch of the imagination. May hit 90, maybe. He moves the ball around, keeps the ball down. We've seen the changeup here early, especially to Bruce and Votto. A little backdoor breaking ball as well.
0-2 pitch. Check swing. Held off. Appeal and no, says Mike Demure. One-two pitch. There goes Bruce from first base, but it's in the air to center field. Coming on hard is Neuenhuis, and he has to make a diving play. Came a long way to get that ball, and the Reds strand 2. They're scoreless at GABP. Lines for today, and the Reds would really like to make up some ground, or at least improve as a team on this homestand. It's a 9-game stand. They could win the series against the Brewers today. Braves come to town starting tomorrow night, and then the Diamondbacks after an off day on Thursday, a weekend set next weekend. So a 9-game homestand, that is when you want to do some business, particularly against teams that on paper at least you would match up fairly well against. It's Chris Carter to lead off the second for the Brewers. And Carter, team leading 22 home runs, and leads the Brewers with 52 runs driven in. Moonshot on an afternoon game of sunshine. 1 out. Now Kirk Neuenhuis. Dan Straily had a rough go of it at the end of June. He posted almost an 11 ERA in his final 3 starts. Since the calendar turned to July, 2 straight quality starts for Straily. Like to make it 3 here today. Two starts ago, 7 innings, 3 earned runs at Washington. Last time out, 6 innings pitched, 3 earned runs at Miami.
When you watch Straily pitch, for the most part, and I don't mean every ball game, but for the most part, the first time through the lineup, he's got a pretty good game plan. Second time through the lineup, it almost seems as though he's trying to overthink what his game plan should be now that he's facing guys for the second time around. And for Straily, I think he has good enough stuff to just continue to go hard and go at the guys. He's got a good changeup. He's got a good breaking ball. He can locate the fastball.
Ground ball. That is Peraza in short right field as the Reds had the shift on Neuenhuis. 2 outs. Straily first time through the order this season, 196 batting average.
Well, you look at the opponent's batting average overall against Straily in his entirety. Opponent's only hitting .218 against him. Now you add in 45 walks in 101 innings. That tells you a little bit about, well, he's trying to be a little bit too fine the second and third time around. But if opponents are only hitting .218 against you, that means your stuff's pretty good. Throw it over the plate. You don't have to be so fine and be right on the edge with a perfect pitch, especially when you navigate through the bottom of the order.
1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss by Will Middlebrooks.
From what I've seen here in the first 2 ball games and with that swing, I'm not sure that I would throw Will Middlebrooks anything but a breaking ball.
Grounded foul.
Middlebrooks is looking fastball middle in. His hips and his front shoulder is wide open before the ball ever gets to the hit zone. And you can't hit a breaking ball like that. The only thing you can do to it is lunge at it as he did there.
Straily ahead 1-2. Out in front of the plate. Straley's got it. Now 1-2-3 seconds for Dan Straily. Reds trying to get on the board. Braun and left. Neuenhuis made a nice catch to end the first. In center, Flores and right. Middlebrooks, VR, Jeanette, Carter around the infield. Battery mates Jonathan Lucroy and Zach Davies. Zach Davies worked out of trouble in the first. Gave up back-to-back hits to Cozart and Hamilton to lead off the game. Lead off the bottom of the first. And got out of it. First pitch strike to Eugenio Suarez, who the Reds would like to get going again. Since his 7-game hitting streak was snapped back on July 3rd at Washington, Suarez hitting just 103. That would be 1-0-3. 3 for 29. Reds Connect Zone. The social media headquarters here at GABP. It's a popular area because you can go and charge your cell phone. They got lots of charging stations there, which is.
They've got a ping pong table up there too. You can watch the game while you're playing.
That's in the other area, I believe. Bioptics.
Bioptics.
Yeah. One level up or upstairs. But they got so many cool areas in this ballpark, you lose track of what's what.
It's pretty sweet.
Oh, they've done a nice job filling in the gaps here at GABP. And Suarez, base hit. Lead off the second for the Reds. So maybe that'll get Eugenio going.
He catches it off the hands a bit, but still enough to get it into the outfield. You can see Suarez going out to get that ball. Ball runs back over the plate just enough, but Suarez on time with the swing.
Jose Peraza will take his first at bat today. You're just picking up the game. Second straight game. Brandon Phillips not in the starting lineup on Friday night. Strained a calf muscle. Swinging at a pitch. Also still dealing with a hairline fracture in his hand. He is what you call the proverbial day-to-day. Reevaluate him tomorrow. First pitch to Peraza. Hard hit at VR. Bobbles it initially, but that ball was hit so hard they came close to turning two. But Peraza runs pretty well and got in there at first base. Tucker Barnhart is the subject of our Lowe's home field advantage. The Reds catcher will step in. National League's highest home batting average by a catcher, 30 or more games. Tucker Barnhart leading the way, 323, just ahead of his combatant today, Jonathan Lucroy. Lowe's home field advantage. Barnhart had the night off from the starting lineup last night, although did pinch hit in the ninth. Grounded into a fielder's choice, which snapped his 4-game hitting streak. But he's hit safely in 11 of his last 14 appearances.
Yeah, it's not always easy to hit in that number 8 spot. A lot of time that's where Barnhart is at, because the pitcher is going to pitch you on the edges of the plate. Maybe take the freedom to bounce some pitches or go out of the strike zone knowing that the pitcher is following you up. But Barnhart has still been able to hit at a 378 clip with runners in scoring position, and you saw the batting average numbers doing awfully well.
Over that time of last 14 appearances, he's raised his batting average from 238 to the current 268. Month of July, how about that? 393. Jose Peraza down at first base. 10 steals on the season, is yet to be thrown out. In fact, he's yet to be thrown out in his major league career.
If you think about it, Jim, where would the Reds be if they didn't have Tucker Barnhart?
Oh, they'd be in a world of hurt.
And the injury issue, at least the last couple of years, I mean, they would be in major trouble without having a kid like Tucker Barnhart that understands the game. He's a good receiver. He's handled the bat much better this year than he has at any other time at the big league level. And you're not going to take any liberties on the base pass with him. He will throw you out.
He's a gamer. 1-0 pitch. Hold the string on him. 79 miles per hour.
I think the Reds now, through the first 8 batters, if they don't realize that they are going to see a boatload of changeups from this kid, they're missing the boat.
He averages 79.6 miles per hour on the changeup, 8th slowest in baseball. So you're going to get a big diet of it today.
And neither of these pitchers today, whether it be Dan Straily or Zach Davies, are going to overpower you with the fastball. You're going to see a lot of other pitches, changeups and breaking balls as well.
And Peraza leaning, just gets back.
You've got Dan Straily on deck. He does not have a hit. Now, he's bunted very well. It's kind of hard to bunt a guy home from second base. You want to try to get Peraza there in this at bat.
Unless Hamilton's out there at second base, then all bets are off. There goes Peraza. Throw down by Lucroy is a good one, and they got him. That is the first time that Jose Peraza has been thrown out in his major league career.
Davies gave Lucroy a nice pitch to throw on, a fastball up and away. Lucroy comes out of the crouch. All he's got to do is step and throw.
Peraza was 13 for 13 in stolen base attempts in his young career. dating back to short time with the Dodgers and now with the Reds, and the Reds are taking a look at the replay.
Pretty close play. Does not appear they're going to challenge it, though.
Jim Riggleman, bench coach for the Reds, is on the phone. Tells Brian Price not this time. Jim Riggleman had to manage most of the game last night after Brian Price was tossed in the 3rd inning. Ooh, that's about as close as you can get. Three balls, 1 strike to Tucker Barnhart.
Fingertips.
Fly ball, center field. Nieuwenhuis is there. We're through 2, and we're scoreless at Great American Ballpark. Here we go to the 3rd inning. We are scoreless. Dan Straily has given up only 1 hit so far. And Ramon Flores will lead off the 3rd for the Brew Crew. .221 hitter, 1 home run, 17 runs driven in, 1 for 5 in the series. But overall has been pretty good against the Reds this season. 8 for 24, 333 clip for Ramon Flores. Listed at 5'10", 189, 24 years of age, hailing from Venezuela. Flores has never faced Dan Straily. Reds did make a roster move today. John Lamb for another tough outing last night in which he went just 2+ 9 earned runs. He was optioned to AAA Louisville. Kyle Waldrop, the outfielder, was recalled from Louisville. As the Reds, and there you see the transaction there, Waldrop will just provide an extra bat for the Reds. We've seen him up here with the big club. Will provide an extra bat until the Reds need a starter, albeit either Friday or Saturday, depending on how they line it up, because there is an off day, a scheduled team off day on Thursday. And Brian Price wouldn't give up who is going to be that starting pitcher. But if we're going to speculate, all signs point towards Robert Stevenson.
Well, Robert Stevenson is pitching tonight.
Yeah.
And I would imagine Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, boom.
Yeah, you can either pitch him on his regular day on Friday and move back Dan Straily perhaps to Saturday, or give him an extra day and pitch him on Saturday. However they want to do it, they have that luxury to do so.
Well, they gave Robert Stevenson quite a bit of time off during the All-Star break period. I think he had 9 days off before, 9 or 10 days off before making the start tonight. So I would imagine that it'll be Stevenson on Friday, and then you get Straily on an extra day's rest.
Brian Price did put to rest any thoughts of it being Homer Bailey. Homer's going to make at least 1 more start at AAA, and I imagine it might be 2. Again, that's just speculation on my part. But no need to rush Homer, so he will not be in the mix as far as that next start.
Boy, it'll sure be nice to have him back up here.
No doubt about that. Lazy fly ball to left. Duvall. 1 out. Now pitcher versus pitcher. Zach Davies. Step to the dish. 2 for 28 this season in 15 games.
Ronald Torreyes is the only player smaller than that man. in the big leagues.
Well, depending on what publication you look at, he's either listed at 5'10", 150 or 155. Popped up to Peraza. 2 outs. Follow Cincinnati Reds baseball live with the MLB.com @bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment. Game day, live video, highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com @bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet.
Just for all those youngsters out there that may be smaller or shorter than anybody else that's on your team, will always have a chance. Sometimes it's not on what's on the outside, it's what's on the inside that matters.
No question about that. You don't have to have an overpowering fastball. These 2 pitchers today are proof positive. You don't need to look any further than the guy in the American League tearing it up average-wise, and Jose Altuve. Former teammate of this guy, Jonathan Villar. Second time through the lineup here. We talked about the first time for Straily, 196 opponent batting average, 230 batting average second time through the lineup. So still very, very good. That third time bumped up just a little bit. As a lot of pitchers, Red staff walks have haunted him along the way as well. Hamilton goes for it. As usual, a great track to the ball. A 1-2-3 inning, second in a row for Straily. Games on TV. You can stream them live on your mobile device with the all-new Fox Sports Go app. Download the app and take Fox Sports Ohio and the Reds wherever you go. Bottom of the third. Pitcher Dan Straily will lead off for the Reds.
Well, when you make that move to roll the dice a little bit with Tucker Barnhart at the plate, stealing Peraza, you have to know that if Peraza gets thrown out, you've got a chance for your pitcher to lead off the next inning. And that's what we have here. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Dan Straily had that full beard going on right before the All-Star break. He shaved it. Not totally clean shaven today, but he walked in. I'm like, I didn't even recognize him. Like, who's the new guy on the team? And he said, well, I didn't have any knocks in the first half, meaning he didn't have a hit. So I'm using it as superstition, trying to get the bat going. He's 0 for 23 on the season, but as he often reminds me in a joking way, hey, but check those sacrifice bunt leaders, because he's got 9 of them. Tied for first in the league.
There's no doubt that he can do what is most important for a pitcher, and that's get the bunt down. This is a guy who came up with an American League club in Oakland. So there are no excuses.
Rung up here. Strike 3 called. First strikeout of the day for Zach Davies. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, and a good day to enjoy a cold one. Later on in the game, it'll be our Miller Time moment, brought to you by Miller Lite. Crack open one for the Cowboy. How about that? Come on. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Been waiting for that. Haven't had enough yes, sir, out of me. Zach Cozart now led off the bottom of the first with a single, but was stranded. Who wants this one? In the middle, 3 players. Look out. Neuenhuis catches it, but a dangerous situation as second baseman, center field, right fielder were converging, and no one called anyone off.
Well, if you're Ramon Flores, you've got to be wondering, all right, is Neuenhuis actually going to be able to get to this ball? Is Neuenhuis not blessed with great speed out there in center field? And really, you look around their outfield for the Brewers, there's not a whole lot of speed.
Right.
every play seems, especially on balls like that, seems to be right at the last second.
Well, I said no one was calling anyone off on that replay. It looked like Flores was yelling for the ball, but center fielder is the boss out there. Doing nice. Caught it for the second out. Now Billy Hamilton, first time up, beautiful bunt single.
I would bet Billy could bunt the ball down towards Chris Carter 5 times in a game. Carter's not going to be able to make that play. Of course, you've got to execute the bunt and get the ball on that side of the infield.
Well, Carter's playing back. He's in the middle of the dirt.
There is no chance that he can come get the baseball. If the pitcher does not get it, it's over.
Thought about it. Middlebrooks charging hard from third. He's able to deaden the ball on those bunts, but if he could ever get that push bunt down right past the pitcher on that first base side like you were just talking about, then we're really talking. This one, not what you're looking for. Second straight 1-2-3 inning for Zach Davies. Fireworks Fridays at the ballpark. Friday, July 22nd. Cheer on your Reds when they take on the Diamondbacks for only $12. Plus, enjoy a post-game fireworks show presented by Hilliard Lyons. Tickets, call 513-381-REDS or visit reds.com. On to the fourth, scoreless here. A rubber game of a 3-game set between the Brewers and the Reds. Scooter Gennett started off for the Brew Crew. First pitch called strike.
Yeah, I've heard Dan Straily say this multiple times in interviews after a ball game, and his comment is sometimes you just have to throw a shutout. You just have to not give up a run.
He has said that numerous times, and he's definitely a stand-up guy.
And until your team's on the board, that's what you have to be thinking if you're on the mound. Watch Straily get just to the side of that breaking ball, and look where it goes. Straight down into the ground, and it had Gennett well out in front. He still caught it on the fat part of the bat, but lunging for the ball, couldn't quite get any carry to it.
Straily, in fact, said that exact thing you just talked about in his last outing. Reds lost 3-1. He went 6 innings, gave up 3 runs. He said sometimes you got to shut them out. Sometimes the pitcher has to win the game.
That's the mentality you have to have.
Yeah.
There are going to be days when you guys just aren't seeing the ball well. You've got to deliver on the mound.
He says his biggest goal in baseball right now, other than obviously hanging at the major league level and staying in the rotation, is seeking his first complete game. Would love to keep the pitch count down and get deep into a game and go the distance. He's flirted with it a couple of times, but has yet to achieve it.
I think that should be every starter's goal. This 5 and 6 inning stuff and allowing 3 runs. Nah. That's not what great pitchers think about. Great pitchers, when they take the ball and go to the mound, they don't want anybody to come get them. They want to finish the ball game. They want to finish what they start.
2-2 pitch to Braun. Hopped it up. Peraza, 2 outs.
High breaking ball. Braun thinks that ball is going to come down a bit, and it just spins up high. You can see it come out of the side of the hand looked like a curveball from Dan Straily. Braun trying to tomahawk it, but he was just a bit tardy in order to tomahawk. If you're going to tomahawk that pitch, you really got to get the bat head out there early.
9 straight retired by Dan Straily. The first pitch strike to Jonathan Lucroy. Season average sitting at .302. Right field. Can Bruce get there? Nope. And it bounces past him. Hamilton there nicely to back it up, though. Good job of Billy Hamilton hustling over there and being right there. Gets past Bruce. Could have been earmarked for a double.
A good pitch by Straily. A good job of hitting by Jonathan Lucroy. Great hustle by Bruce and by Billy Hamilton. You're always trying to back up one another, whether it be in the outfield or the infield, so you can allow the position player that's going for the ball to try to make a great play.
Two outs and one aboard, and Chris Carter flied out to center his first time up. Carter making his 85th start at first base today. 4th in the National League with 22 home runs. Skies it right side. Will Votto have enough room? He does. Dan Straily strands one. We are still scoreless on a Sunday afternoon in Cincy.
I'm Jeff Pecoro down here, the camera well right by the Reds dugout. You know, yesterday we talked a lot about some of the pitchers that are coming up through the Red system. Well, let's talk about 3 others, and a couple of them that are on a rehab assignment, and 2 that came over in the Chapman deal. It's today's greater coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. Let's start with Tim Adelman. He pitched last night. He's on rehab with that oblique strain. Last night at AAA Louisville, no decision, went 4 innings of 4-hit baseball, no earned runs. Rookie Davis, the 23-year-old right-hander acquired in the Chapman trade last night in Pensacola, 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned. He got the win there. He's 7-3 with a .285 earning. And then Caleb Cotham, you've seen him here in Cincinnati as well, came over in the Chapman deal. He's coming back from that shoulder inflammation. 2nd outing for him at Pensacola. 1 perfect inning in relief. Gentlemen.
Talked a lot about the future of Reds pitching last night. We briefly mentioned Rookie Davis, but there's another guy at Double-A. Big right-hander. As Joey Votto sends one into right field with a leadoff base hit here in the 4th. So after a 4-hit night last night, 1 for 2 today is Votto. Now we'll see what Jay Bruce has in store. Going back to Zach Davies, you talked about him being the second, listed as the 2nd smallest. Talking about weight, obviously, but
body mass.
Body mass. And he's had to deal with, you know, I'm sure a lot of ribbing from teammates, but not only teammates, but he used to be in the Orioles system. Manager Buck Showalter confused him for the bat boy in 2014. He thought he was a bat boy.
It happens.
I mean, you look at him and he does have that young looking face. Obviously not a big dude.
Very slender.
Averages 90.3 miles per hour in the fastball. Only 25 major league starters, including his counterpart today, Dan Straily, have slower fastballs on average. It's not about the radar gun. It's about location, keeping those hitters off balance. Proof positive, as you said, man. If you got kids out there that are slight in stature and don't think they can make it, look at a guy like Zach Davies.
Was always the littlest guy on my team.
Yeah, but Lenny Harris said in Miami when we talked to him that on road trips you used to wear a cowboy hat, so that would add about 4 inches.
Yeah, but that was
a little bit.
Just trying to boost my confidence as far as my height.
Can we bring that back?
No.
Cowboy hat on the road trips? Come on.
Not happening.
No? Used to happen as a player.
It didn't happen much, but it did a little bit.
Well, Lenny mentioned it.
I know he did.
Ground ball right at Carter. A double play turn. Hard hit ball by Jay Bruce, but an atom ball. And with the shift, that goes 3-5-3.
Smoked it right at the first baseman, Carter. Actually, the ball had a little hook to it. Watch how Carter catches the ball. He backhands it, even though he's standing right in front of the baseball.
He threw that in a perfect position for a right-handed throwing defender to catch that ball and turn 2. That was well done. 2 outs. Adam Duvall.
You watch where Davies is throwing his pitches. That last pitch at 91 miles an hour, he is either right at the kneecaps or just below. And being able to throw his changeup and the breaking ball for strikes. Hitters, at least so far in this ball game, are having a tough time to decipher which pitch is coming.
Lays off 1-1. Got to be proud in Louisville of this guy right there.
Well, there's no doubt about that. Changeup.
Changeup is just filthy.
It's a great pitch for a starter, great pitch for any pitcher, because it ultimately keeps the hitters off balance, makes your fastball look even that much harder.
Well, that old adage, we've said it a million times, but you can break it down very simply. Hitting is timing and pitching is disrupting the timing.
Got it.
And not enough pitchers nowadays seem to get that.
A lot of folks quite enamored with that radar gun.
We've talked many times about some of these showcases where scouts will show up and pitchers will show up and just throw as hard as you can throw.
Well, if that's what you're taught as you're coming up, if you're taught to just rear back and throw the ball as hard as you can and continue to temper your body mechanics so that you can throw the ball 97 or 98, then you're going to be a thrower. You're not going to be a pitcher. And when you get to this level, and we see this every day, when you get to this level, and I think there are a lot of young pitchers that are starting to see it as well, you may throw the ball 96 or 97, and you may light that gun up. But these hitters are going to light you up.
Yep.
Because if you don't have something else to go with it, you're in trouble.
2-2 pitch to Duvall. Outside corner and strike 3. Second strikeout for Zach Davies. We're through 4. No score. So I was brought to you by your local Ford dealer. Ford, go further. And by Cincinnati Children's, changing the outcome together. If you haven't been down to the Banks in a while, the Banks Project next to Great American Ballpark features that. Some very cool swings right along the river. I want to tell you, that park is awesome. Bars and restaurants around here. It is a completely new area. We invite you down because they've done a very, very nice job. No longer just come down for the game and have nothing else to do. You can come down here early, get a bite to eat, a few beverages, or not even if you're coming to a game, just come down to the park and enjoy the atmosphere along the river. Dan Straily, his 5th inning of work, going against Kirk Neuenhuis, grounded out back in the 2nd. Neuenhuis was claimed off of waivers from the Mets back in December. His 55th start today. Looking for his first hit in the series. High fly ball, right field. Bruce on the track to the wall and got it. That ball just kept carrying and carrying.
When that ball went into the air, I think Jay Bruce thought it was going to be either right at him or right in front of him, and he keeps going back, and that ball is right there at the edge of the wall. Now Bruce makes the play look easy, but that ball had some serious carry to it, and he hit it straight up in the air.
He did. Will Middlebrooks grounded out to the pitcher in the 2nd. They're still scoreless here, and this is the first game at Great American Ballpark to be scoreless through 4 innings since April 9th of last year. That spans 124 games. That is unbelievable that we have not had a scoreless games through just 4 innings. Right at Bruce. Oh, here comes the Cowboy distraction segment. Did you put a hurting on that right there?
I would. I'd like to have a little fried chicken on the side.
Just on the side?
Yeah.
Most people have fried chicken as their entree. You take it on the side?
Got that right. Finish it off with a little ice cream. Yeah, I may start just walking on down to the UDF booth and just pop it right on in right before game time. We're good to go.
Can you get me some along the way?
I think I can work that out.
Flores digging around first base. He'll be into 2nd with a 2-out double. His 8th double of the season. Just the 3rd hit off of Dan Straily today.
Two-seam fastball stays in off the plate. Sometimes you got to credit the hitter. And in that instance, you have to credit Ramon Flores. He did a good job pulling his hands inside. He got the bat head to the baseball, and he kept it fair. A lot of times you spin, the hips come open, you pull that ball foul. He stayed right on it.
Good news with the runner in scoring position is the pitcher's at the plate, although Zach Davies does have 2 hits this season.
It would be 2 for 28.
Does have an RBI to his credit. 1 sitting out there for him. 1-0 pitch. Hails from Washington.
Puyallup.
You ever been to Puyallup, Washington?
I have.
Have you?
It's a big Indian tribe up in that area.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3 called. Nasty pitch. 2nd strikeout of the game. Dan Straily. Join Mo Egger from 700 WLW for the Reds fan cam this Friday night at the Holy Grail. It's your chance to answer Reds trivia, win great prizes, and you could be a part of Reds Live. The party starts at 6 this Friday at the Holy Grail. Zach Davies and Dan Straily tangling in a pitcher's duel so far. Bottom of the 5th. And we're searching for this game's first run of the game. And Eugenio Suarez hopes to better a 1-for-1 performance so far today. A single back in the second. 26 average, 15 home runs, 40 runs driven in. First pitch from Zach Davies. Zach Davies originally drafted by the Orioles. And they selected him in the 26th round in June of 2011. But they kept him from going to Arizona State. They gave him a $575,000 bonus, which kept him from Arizona State, and here he is on the big league mound. And he strikes out Eugenio Suarez looking.
That is just pitching backwards there. A first pitch breaking ball for a strike, a changeup for a swing and a miss, and then a paralyzing fastball where you just can't pull the trigger. The ball just sneaks right by you on the outside corner. That's pitching.
He's got 3 strikeouts on the afternoon, all 3 strikeouts looking. Now Peraza versus Davies. After being drafted into the Orioles organization, he came over to the Brewers July 31st of last season, when the Brewers sent left fielder Gerardo Parra to the Orioles. One pitch to Peraza, but foul. One-two.
This kid may be short in stature and a small frame, but he's got a pretty good idea from the neck up about how to pitch. He's got a great feel for the swing of the batter at the plate. He reads swings well, makes pitches accordingly, and he's staying out of the middle of the plate so far.
Pretty good moxie for a 23-year-old pitcher.
I would imagine there's never one point in time where Zach Davies says to himself, I'm going to just throw this ball by this hitter. Because if that's in your thought process when you're on the mound, you're in trouble. And I don't care if you throw it 100 miles an hour.
We could certainly learn lessons from a guy like you, the way you pitched. The guy on the radio side right now, Tom Browning, who we've had some interesting conversations with the last couple of days. And Davies knocks it down. Nice play. Gets the out of Peraza. Pretty good recognition on this hard hit ball.
Just jumps, gets enough of the glove on it to knock it down, and has the presence of mind not to panic.
Well, you're talking about not having the mentality of wanting to blow it by a guy. And these conversations, I loved listening to you and Tom Browning talk pitching, by the way, last couple of days. I could sit and listen to that all day long and just be quiet, not say a word, just listen. And talking to Browning, you know, I'm like, well, you didn't want to strike out a whole lot of guys, want to get guys out on, you know, set them up first 2 or 3 pitches. It's like, I want to get guys out on the first pitch. Let them get themselves out.
You know, and he did that out of the rotation. I wanted to get him out on the first pitch out of the bullpen so I could pitch 4 and 5 days in a row.
Right.
I mean, if you're out there throwing 25 pitches out of the bullpen in 1 inning, you're going to have a tough time coming back and pitching on consecutive days.
Slow roller. Davies, back-to-back plays he makes. Off to the 6th. Thanks to Fox Sports Ohio. The first 25,000 fans will receive a Reds cap. Catch all the action. Reds and D-backs for $12. For tickets, call 513-381-REDS or visit Reds.com. Pitcher's duel continues here in the Queen City. Another gorgeous afternoon for baseball. Glad you've joined us alongside the Cowboy. Jeff Brantley, I'm Jim Day. To be mighty impressed with what Dan Straily's done so far.
Outstanding. You just don't want to blink. Continue to drive hard and think about finishing this ball game and keeping the Brewers off the board.
Here's that third time through the lineup. The leadoff hitter Jonathan VR waves at a bunt. Strike one. 5 for 11 in the series. And has been quite the pleasant surprise for the Brewers at shortstop. Has played so well. They've got their youngster waiting in the wings, their shortstop of the future, Orlando Arcia. Once he gets to the bigs, VR has played so well. I'm talking about moving him to second base.
Moving VR.
Moving VR, yeah, indeed. Moving VR to second base. And what that'll future will be for Scooter Gennett, we'll find out. But VR with an over 300 average, sitting at 303 right now, leading all of baseball in stolen bases with 32. Leads the Brewers with 21 doubles, riding a 7-game hitting streak as we speak. He's done that 4 times this season and draws a leadoff walk.
Everything's better with bacon. Even a hot dog is better wrapped in bacon.
A little sausage action too, wrapped in bacon. You good with that?
A little Queen City sausage, some kind of nice.
No, look out.
Lord,
Now we've lost the Cowboy for the rest of the game. Now I need your analysis here. Now let's.
That's a big, nice scoop of UDF right there.
Yes, sir.
Somebody bring it to me.
Killing me right there.
You know, Sunday afternoon, it gets over a little early. Looking good.
7 scoops.
I might go for the 8. Put 8 in that big boy cup. That way I can get all the flavors and have a little party on my tongue.
Yeah, just don't fall asleep with it, as Tom would say, sitting on the boiler.
Yeah, I've done that with cookies and cream. That'll put a little shock in you.
Scooter Gennett right at Jay Bruce. 1 out. See if Dan Straily can work around this leadoff walk. We talked about it earlier in the game, where Straily can just be cruising along and then all of a sudden give up a couple walks and a knock. And
what's interesting about that at bat for VR, Straily had him down in the count 0-2 and ended up walking him, trying to make too good of a pitch. Sometimes in a ball game, you have to trust the fact that your stuff is just better than what the opponent brings for that day. You may try 1 or 2 pitches at 0-2 to try to strike the guy out, but after that, just make a pitch that he's got to swing at.
biggest stress moment in the game here for Straily. 1 out, Braun at the plate, Lucroy on deck. Back in the 4th, Lucroy reached on a single, but it was with 2 outs. Got Chris Carter to foul out. But with 1 out and a runner on first base, and Braun and Lucroy coming up, that's a different situation, particularly in the 6th, 3rd time through the lineup. It Pitch count up to 80 now for Dan Straily. 1 out into the 6th. Naturally, he'll pay a lot of attention to Jonathan VR. He's all of Major League Baseball with 32 steals, but has been caught stealing 11 times.
Slider never gets to the plate, so you don't get any kind of commitment from Ryan Braun. Nice sliding block by Barnhart to keep the ball in front.
It just happens to give a pitcher all the confidence in the world to be able to put one downstairs in the dirt, knowing that Tucker Barnhart's going to block that for you. Most times, more times than not, he will keep the ball in front of him.
We're starting to see one of those moments for Dan Straily where he's pitching away from contact. He's trying to pitch to a swing and miss, trying to pitch to a millimeter point either off the inside or the outside corner, and that takes away the aggressiveness of the pitcher.
There goes VR, and Braun fouls it off. VR looked none too happy right there.
With a huge hole on the right side with Votto holding on VR, anything that's down and away, Braun is going to try to shoot it to right field.
Swing and a miss. Braun was trying to make it a 2-0 game with one swing of the bat.
We've seen a couple of pitches here today where Braun has chased the ball up around his neck. His last time up, chased a curveball up there and popped it up to the second baseman Peraza. Chases a fastball up there here to run the count full.
Big pitch in this game. 3-2. Out of play. Balls, 2 strikes, a runner on first base. You've gone upstairs a couple of times with him. If you're on the mound, what does Jeff Brantley throw right here?
I have to come with a fastball in.
On
down,
the hands?
Down and in.
Down
You got to have a strike, so it's got to be down and in. I don't want to go down and away because he can cover that pitch. Braun likes to get his arms extended. Every pitch that he's seen here in this at bat has been away or up and away. He's yet to see a pitch that's close to him at all. But if you do come in, it's got to be on the inside corner for a strike.
Here it comes. He goes outside. Barnhart off balance and no chance. That ball goes into right field, and VR ends up at third base. Stolen base number 33 on the season for VR, and an E2 allowing him to go to third.
Tucker tried to do a little bit too much there. A good jump by VR and a very difficult pitch to throw on. Now you give a pretty good hitter an opportunity just to get a fly ball.
So it was a big strikeout of Braun along the way, but VR now at third base and 2 outs. Good pitch right there to start off Lucroy. Dan Straily trying to dance around a leadoff walk. Runner now at third base. A 1-1 count to Jonathan Lucroy.
Lucroy will chase, but more times than not, it's not chase up in the zone as we see with Ryan Braun. It's a chase down in the zone, down in the dirt.
Out of play.
Just don't want to give Lucroy a pitch that he can elevate into the air and hit the ball out of the ballpark. That's got Carter on deck. You've handled him pretty well. Just make a pitch here.
Pitch number 90 on the way. Ground ball right at Kozar. Makes the out. And Straily strands VR at third. Minutes before every game, all the info you need for that day or night's game. Reds Live, the pregame edition on Fox Sports Ohio, presented by Ray St. Clair Roofing. Back to a night game tomorrow night, 6:30 for Reds Live. Braves come to town. Matt Whistler against lefty Brandon Finnegan. First of 3 against the Braves in the middle of this 9-game homestand. Bottom of the 6th, Zach Davies has been pitching brilliantly along with Dan Straily, who with 90 pitches, Straily leading off the 6th inning, and they will let him hit. After the bullpen went 7 innings yesterday, you better believe the Reds won at least 7 out of Straily today. Did you catch the story on Jason Hamill of the Cubs yesterday? He's been dealing with cramps.
I've seen that.
And in fact, his pitching hand cramps up. And his doctor over the All-Star break, and this might be right up your alley, prescribed potato chips because it has a lot of potassium.
Yep.
As Straily goes down on strikes with sea salt, mind you. So the doc called him over the break, told me again today, potato chips is my prescription for cramps because of that potassium.
Well, the salt helps you retain the water a bit.
He ate potato chips over the break. Not only over the break, but he ate them during the game yesterday. Didn't do it in the dugout, went up in the tunnel.
Maybe that's why I've never had any problems with cramps like that.
You load up on the chips.
I would highly suggest that he get himself a slab of ribs with sauce on the side and a bag of chips and go to town. And that can be eaten at any time of the day. It could be breakfast, lunch, dinner, or you could get a slab for dinner and then take one home for maybe a midnight snack.
Now, there are probably parents out there screaming at me and Jason Hamill right now. Don't tell my kids that potato chips are going to help them be better baseball players.
Mom, I've got some cramps in my hamstring and my forearm. I need a big bag of chips. Nacho cheese.
Cubs trailing the Rangers 2-0, bottom of the 2nd today. Cole Hamels on the hill for the Rangers.
Yeah, I told Marty one day that if you ate some potato chips before the game, it would help kind of smooth out your throat a little bit, just the oil in the chips. And
that's not a good idea at all.
He lit me up.
Hold on a second. Marty Brenneman lit you up?
It works for me, though. And I tried to get him to try it. He has yet to move in that direction, but it does work.
He lights me up on a daily basis, I'm going to tell you. Hey, Great American Ballpark, your family day destination. Sunday the 24th, thanks to Klosterman Bakery. Get half-price Reds tickets, enjoy live mascot races, and so much more for the kids. Kids 14 and younger get a Suarez Fathead thanks to Hothead Burritos. 513-381-REDS for tickets at reds.com. I've been called a fathead before for different reasons. Physically just have a large melon. What can I say? But, you know, when the good Lord gives you extra brains, you got to have somewhere to put them.
I hear you, baby.
2 outs for Billy Hamilton. 1-0 pitch.
Well, both pitchers today have been on their game, not only with the fastball location, but they've been able to use their command of their secondary pitches, which has really put them over the top. More so the changeup for Zach Davies, the changeup and the slider for Dan Straily.
Peel down to third. No, says Quinn Wolcott.
I mean, when Hamilton slides his hand up the bat to start to bunt, Chris Carter maybe takes 1 step in. Now Middlebrooks is charging.
Once again, trying that drag bunt variety instead of staying in. He has enough speed to stay in that box, lay it down, and then run. Continues to try to drag bunt the left-hand side. Middle, but there's Jeanette, knows he's got to hurry. Off balance throw gets Hamilton. 1, 2, 3, 6. We're still scoreless. All pitching. Dan Straily been able to keep the Brewers off balance, Cowboy.
Did awfully well with the breaking ball. Not only the slider, but he's mixed in the slower curveball as well, and it's had the Brewers offense well out in front.
The other side, Zach Davies, you mentioned it before the game. Look out for the changeup, and he's been displaying it today.
And not only using the changeup, but he's pitched inside just enough to make the Reds hitters think, all right, I've got to get the bat head out there. But boy, his location has been down, down, down. Rarely missed up. If he has, it's been off the plate. He is yet to miss in the center.
Only 1 walk in this game, and that was by Dan Straily. And only 7 strikeouts between him, so been a lot of ball on bat and a lot of outs recorded by the defense. Chris Carter, his 3rd at bat of the game, 0 for 2 so far. Really trying to get through the 7th inning, which he has done 4 times in 16 starts this season.
Well, back-to-back changeups, he just totally fooled Chris Carter. One sinking down and in, and this ball just the bottom falls out of him. Almost a split finger look and almost a split finger grip. But look at the movement on that pitch. It looks just like a fastball from the arm speed standpoint, but when the ball gets to the plate, it just stops.
Where do pitchers come up with an unconventional grip on a pitch like that? Is that just something that they, by accident, someone taught him perhaps?
I don't know that it's taught per se. I mean, you hear a lot of different grips that guys use, but you have to figure out one that works for you.
Right.
And there are some pitchers that, you know, you see the circle change that Glavine and Maddox made so famous, but a lot of guys can't throw that. Either the ball comes out of their hand too fast or they can't keep the ball down, so they change the grip a bit just so they can have the same arm speed. As we see a fly ball to left here, but arm speed is the whole key. You want to be able to throw the ball as hard as you would your fastball, that same type of motion, and not have to try to slow it down. And if you can find a grip that allows you to do that and is still consistent around the plate, boy, you found yourself something.
Certainly found it today. Now with 2 outs, Will Middlebrooks.
I mean, a great changeup. You should be able to look at the guy on tape and not be able to decipher what the speed of the pitch is without looking at the gun, just by the arm speed.
Beautiful inning for Dan Straily. He just keeps on keeping on. As usual on Sundays, 7th inning stretch time And we will pause and keep it right here as we honor America with the singing of God Bless America. And today, we love this guy, Reds clubhouse employee Josh Stewart at the mic to honor America.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please stand, kindly remove your hats, and face the American flag. Major League Baseball, the Reds, and the Brewers salute the men and women of our armed forces, as well as those who serve to protect in our local police and fire departments. At this time, please help us honor these brave men and women and all our veterans of service, and welcome Reds clubhouse assistant Josh Stewart as he leads us in the singing of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Still no score here at Great American Ballpark, 0-0. Now this was earlier today, starting at 10:30. Season ticket holders had a meet and greet with the players, broadcasters, coaches, manager. There's Jim Kelch taking a walk around. Photo opportunities for all, couple of thousand fans on the field to meet and greet all the players, and a fun day had by all today. It was actually pretty nice this morning. It's getting hot right now. The Reds need to score a run. Fellas, back upstairs.
We went through that line, greeted the people, took some pictures.
A lot of friendly folks out there.
Yeah.
Braving the early morning heat. A lot of pictures. A lot of pictures.
A lot of pictures. Always good to see. Just look someone in the eye and talk to them a bit.
Yes. Tell them thanks for being a season ticket holder. Thanks for being here and supporting the Reds.
Yep. And they were from all over today. A lot of youngsters out there. One pitch to Joey Votto as Zach Davies works his way into the seventh.
Big spot here for Votto and the Reds, trying to get something started here against the right-hander Zach Davies.
Votto thought it was ball 4.
This is where the on-base percentage and the ability to put the ball in play, this is where it really matters. When you're leading off an inning and it's a 0-0 ball game, and here we are in the 7th, this is when you have to put your tools to use.
Fouls it back. Reds do have action in their pen. Michael Lorenzen warming up. Dan Straily with 99 pitches. And we were wondering in the break there whether or not the Reds would send him out there in the 8th inning with 99 pitches. He has thrown 112 pitches this season as Votto is rung up, and he didn't like that call either. Take a look.
Backdoor breaking ball, and that looked to be a little bit outside.
Joey's always had good command of the strike zone.
Too close to take.
Yep. 2 strikes. Outside according to our Fox tracks. As you said, close enough that he'll probably be swinging the bat there. One out. Jay Bruce. Get back to Straily. He's thrown 110 pitches, 112 pitches, 104 pitches, 109 a couple of times. So he's been up above that 100 pitch mark. So we'll see if he at least starts the 8th. Davies makes the play on Bruce. 2 outs. In the 8th, Ramon Flores, the lefty, is set to lead off. Then the pitcher spot. Back to the top of the order and switch hitter Jonathan VR. Very consistent as far as pitch count by inning for Zach Davies.
Neither pitcher, Davies nor Straily, have pitched a complete game in their career.
Adam Duvall 0 for 2 today. Struck out looking last time up. Right into the shift. Easy 7th inning for Zach Davies. Off to the 8th. Still no one on the board.
Presented by authority of the Cincinnati Reds. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cincinnati Reds.
Top of the 8th inning. And our answer is on the mound. That would be Michael Lorenzen, who will take over for Dan Straily after Straily goes 7 innings of 3-hit scoreless baseball. And Michael Lorenzen got a late start to the season, a very late start due to injury and mononucleosis.
Yeah, he's only pitching for the 7th time. And I think the Reds, with both Iglesias and Lorenzen, who I think they kind of see them moving back towards the very back end of the bullpen. But before they get to that point, they've got to get some things right, not only mechanically, but also location-wise, feel for the pitch, for their pitches, I should say, and just get comfortable in this environment before you just thrust them into game-on-the-line situation. But in the position that Lorenzen's in right now, game online.
First pitch to Ramon Flores. Swing and a miss. Lorenzen out of the pen can get towards that triple-digit mark on the radar gun. Pops it up. Kozar for out number 1. Our IGS bringing the energy has to do with the Reds bullpen. Last 7 games, they'll take a 1.42 ERA any day of the week.
I think any team in baseball would take that.
Last night, 7 scoreless innings. Albeit Kivas Sampson did inherit a bases loaded situation, and 3 runs did score, but they were credited to John Lamb. Now pinch hitter Andy Wilkins. Now Zach Davies' day is done. 7 innings, 4 hits, 5 strikeouts for Davies today.
Well, both starting pitchers awfully good here today. Now it'll be up to the respective bullpens as to how the outcome of this ball game will be.
Straily was all around the plate. He threw 99 pitches and 72 strikes. .30 pitch. Wilkins thought he had a walk. Mark Carlson had other plans. 5-pitch walk to Wilkins.
When you watch Lorenzen throw, he's got kind of almost a sway, not quite Johnny Cueto where he turns his back to the plate, but as he brings that front knee up, you see him turn his back ever so slightly. And if you don't slide that front hip to the plate first before you open the top shoulder, you have a tendency to cut the ball off and the ball stays high. And we've seen that a little bit with Lorenzen. So he's still trying to figure out exactly how that mechanical move is going to translate into success.
Now Jonathan Villar, who wanted no part of even attempting to swing at that first pitch, kept that bat on his shoulder. It's not a bad idea when the previous batter walked on 5 pitches. Barnhart setting up inside.
There is no doubt that Michael Lorenzen has a phenomenal arm, and he's got a lot of weapons in his arsenal. But when you're coming out of the bullpen and you're pitching incrementally, where you're not pitching every day, you're not getting constant work like you would if you were a starter, it's tough to use 3 or 4 different pitches, and that's what Lorenzen was used to last year. You come out of the bullpen, you have to have 2 pitches that you're set with, that you know that you can throw for a strike on both sides of the plate, and then you kind of work in that 3rd pitch if you have to have it.
Up the middle, Peraza, Kozar on the Votto, not in time. Villar got down the line pretty well.
Villar hustling right out of the box. You could see Peraza as he caught the baseball with his glove up instead of underneath the ball and shuffling quickly to Kozar. And we've mentioned this on different occasions. You're playing a lot of different positions. Those small little instinctive things that you do at second and shortstop to turn a double play or to cut down a runner with the speed of Villar, it takes repetition. And right now Peraza just has not gotten that at second base or shortstop, for that matter. Really anywhere from the defensive standpoint.
Scooter Gennett has faced Michael Lorenzen 5 times, 1 hit. 0 for 3 today. Jonathan Villar. Already has a stolen base in this game to increase his major league lead. 33rd of the season, and Lorenzen will pay a lot of attention to number 5. To the plate. Upstairs, 1-0. Pitch just missed outside. 2-0. Braun on deck and Lucroy to follow. Certainly want to attack Scooter Gennett right here. Outside corner, strike 1.
You watch the location and the angle of some of the pitches that come to the plate from Lorenzen. A lot of the pitches are at mid-thigh. Now the velocity is there and the movement is there, but because of his first movement from a mechanical standpoint, his front shoulder is moving towards the first baseline. That's his first movement instead of to the plate or back towards second to load and then go to the plate. And a lot of times when you're moving towards first base, it's very difficult to get back on top of the ball and drive it down to the bottom of the strike zone. You can see where those pitches are. They're arm side, they're up, and a lot of that has to do with adrenaline. You have your heart's beating 100 miles an hour in this kind of situation, but you've got to be able to not only control that mentally, but also physically with your body, especially your front shoulder and your front hip.
Here comes the 3-1. Hit the other way into left field, a base hit. The Brewers trying for a little 2-out bingo here. Runners on first and second. Ryan Braun stepping in. Pretty good piece of hitting right there by Scooter Gennett.
And you get behind in the count, you've got to come over the plate. That ball got plenty of plate. It was well above the knees. Now, I'm not talking about a ball that's chest high. That's not what we're talking about. But with the ability of Lorenzen, if he is at the kneecaps with the majority of his pitches, there's not too many folks in this league going to hit him or square him up at all.
This will be a good test for the youngster Michael Lorenzen. With the game on the line, Ryan Braun is 4 for 8 in his career off of Lorenzen with a home run. Don't think for a second that's not in his head right now. But on the flip side, if you're a competitor, this would be a big out for Michael Lorenzen right here. And if they can make the play, he'll get it. Lorenzen will take it himself, and he strands two. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Reds need a run.
Stick around for the Reds Live, brought to you by Performance Kings Honda, and get a complete recap, interviews, and much more from the clubhouse. Well, guys, we talked about the situation with John Lamb being sent down. Kyle Waldrop brought up today, and you know, it's really two situations. One, you've got that open date next week, so you don't need that 5th starter. But the other thing with Brandon Phillips's problems, he's got the fractured hand. He also has the calf strain. You're playing really with a 3-man bench, so this gives him that 4th player off the bench and a nice left-handed bat with a little bit of pop. So we could see Waldrop in the game today, gentlemen.
It certainly has that pop. And we'll see when the Reds get to next weekend, when they need a starter, what will happen. Suarez, long drive but foul. The new pitcher on the hill is Tyler Thornburg.
Thornburg's done an awfully nice job out of this Brewers bullpen. So nice so that there are teams asking for him in the trade talks that come up with Lucroy and Ryan Braun and Jeremy Jeffress for that matter. Big over the top hook, good firm fastball.
Hard hit ball, but right at Middlebrooks. Tough luck for Eugenio Suarez. 1 out here in the 8th. Blistered that ball. Jose Peraza. Facing Thornburg for the first time in his young career. It is a rarity when we're in the bottom of the 8th and it is scoreless in this ballpark.
No doubt about that.
I mean, rare. In the 14-year history of Great American Ballpark, there's only been 19 1-0 games. Only 19. Talking 14 years, 81 home games per. Only been 115 shutouts total during the regular season. Raza. Lazy fly ball that Braun handles. 2 outs. Be a part of Super Saturdays coming up on the 23rd. Thanks to Fox Sports Ohio. Those 25,000 are going to get a Reds cap. And it's a good looking one, too. Reds and D-backs. You can see it for just $12. 513-381-REDS for tickets or visit Reds.com. 2 outs. Here's Tucker Barnhart. Pitch to Barnhart. 0-2. Pitch. Grounded foul.
Total hits in game 1, 21 hits here last night. Only 8 hits combined here today.
Both teams with 4 hits. Brewers have had 3 base runners reach second. BR reached third base in 6th. Barnhart strikes out swinging. Tyler Thornburg gets it done in the 8th. We're off to the 9th. Save big store wide. Great food, low prices at Kroger. And buy Toyota for over 30 offers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places. Improve your golf game and tune into the Golf Zone. Our PGA Pro Jimmy Hanlon shows you terrific tips to lower your handicap and talks with you about the British Open. Get inside the Golf Zone with Jimmy Hanlon, presented by American Eagle Mortgage and Varmint Gun. Tonight at 8 on Fox Sports Ohio. 9th inning. No one has dented the scoreboard. Dan Straily goes 7 innings, 3 hits, scoreless baseball. Michael Lorenzen a scoreless 8th, and now Tony Cingrani, the lefty, on for the Reds.
Cingrani came on to close game number 1 and couldn't quite finish it out. Ross Ollendorf came on to get the final out of that ball game. No room for error here.
Cingrani will face Lucroy, Carter, and Neuenhuis here in the 9th. Struggles were big time on Friday night for Cingrani. Walked the first batter he faced, gave up a couple of singles, walked another batter. And with 2 outs, Brian Price lifted him out of the game, brought in Ross Ollendorf to face Ryan Braun, who popped up. Ollendorf saved that game. Gets Lucroy, bounce it right at Peraza. The Reds had it played perfectly. Albeit a slow grounder. They got to that anyways, but 1 out in the inning. And now Chris Carter. The big fella. First pitch fouled back. One ball, one strike. Series on the line. Winner of this game will take this 3-game set. Reds will stay home and welcome in the Atlanta Braves tomorrow night. Brewers are off to the Berg. Strike call.
You have to find a way to perceive incremental success. If the Reds are able to win this ball game here today, they win the first series of the second half. Gives you a little momentum going forward.
Off the glove of Cingrani, barehanded by Cozart, and a nice play. It's one of those balls perhaps Cingrani could have let go through, knowing his defense was shaded up the middle. However, instincts took over, but look at Cozart just cleaning it up.
Silky smooth.
1-6-3 officially on the out.
Cozart always seems to be in the right place,
doesn't
at
he?
the right time. It's almost as though he reads the swings of the batter as a pitcher should. Ball comes off the bat, he always seems to have that first little jab step towards where the ball is going. I think it's just instinctive for that kid. That's why he's such a great shortstop.
2-0 pitch. Ground ball. Peraza, who was playing in short right, charges, gets it. And a nice ninth inning turned in by Tony Cingrani. Reds can win it in their last at bat. Last at bat, Zach Cozart standing on deck, and he's the subject of today's Volkswagen drive of the game. Let's take it back to 5 years ago today. A day he'll never forget, his first major league home run. Came here at Great American Ballpark. Cozart touching them all 5 years ago on this date.
Came against his former teammate in college at Ole Miss, Lance Lynn, against the Cardinals.
Cozart will bat second, but leading off will be pinch hitter Ivan DeJesus Jr. Start the ninth. Tyler Thornburg stays in for the Brewers for a second inning of work. .49 games, .229 average. Get on base here. Started off nicely in the ninth. We're scoreless in the middle of the ninth. And this is only the 8th game in Great American Ballpark history to go scoreless through 8 innings. Last time was April 2nd of 2014. And in that game, former Red Chris Heisey, a walk-off versus the Cardinals. So that was also the last 1-0 final here at Great American Ballpark. Hops it up. One out.
Look at Tyler Thornburg's numbers, and they're pretty exceptional across the board. 35 innings, he's only allowed 21 hits and 12 walks. That's only 33 base runners in his 35 innings. That's tough to do. 48 strikeouts to go with it. The number that stands out to me, 5 home runs. I'm sure the Reds would like to cash one of those in here.
5 years ago today, Zach Cozart with the first big league home run. How about a walk-off today? Righty Ross Ollendorf warming up in the Reds bullpen. One to Cozart. Coming back at it. Right over Thomas. You were ready though, Cowboy, I could tell. Foul balls come at you. Are you a guy that give it an effort, or will you get out of the way? Catch it. Yeah. 1-2. Way outside.
Haven't had any in a few years. a while there, I had 3 that came up to the booth that I was able to catch.
Well, your radio partner Marty Brenneman gets out of the way. He ducks. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Thornburg blows Cozart away for out number 2.
Had Zach chasing a fastball earlier in this at bat. He goes up high, right around the letters.
Two outs, Billy Hamilton. Let's see if Hamilton can get on base and get Votto to the plate here in the 9th. First pitch to Billy. Ball 1. Swing and a miss. Again, that right side wide open. Should he want to try to lay it down for a bunt single, get it past that pitcher. Swinging away here. At least setting up to swing away. Takes it. Pitch high. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Lay off that high fastball with Thornburg. Hamilton swung at 1 earlier.
Three and 1. Pitch missed. And Billy is aboard with 2 outs, and Votto will indeed come to the plate. That is just the first walk today by Brewers pitching.
And that's going to be all she wrote for Tyler Thornburg as Craig Counsell meeting with home plate umpire Mark Carlson. They've already made a call to the bullpen. Imagine they will go to Will Smith in this situation, their left-handed reliever. We'll see.
Counsell goes to home plate umpire Mark Carlson. We'll make a double switch here. Coming into the game is Jake Elmore. And it looks like Braun is going to move to right. Neuenhuis is going to the dugout, and it is indeed the lefty Will Smith. It's our Skyline Chili call to the bullpen. Votto, bottom of the 9th, 2 outs. Billy Hamilton on first base, and a new pitcher on the hill. It's lefty, the Fresh Prince, Will Smith.
Will Smith has never allowed a hit to Joey Votto, and left-handed batters, I should say, only hitting at a 175 clip against him. This is another guy out of this Brewer bullpen that opponents asking for. Is he available? What will it take?
Votto seeking his first hit off of Smith in his career. You better believe he'll be paying a lot of attention to Billy Hamilton. Much bigger task for Hamilton with the lefty on the hill. Billy a modest lead over there at first. Had him fooled. Billy was going back to the bag and appealed down to third base. When Walcott says no.
Will Smith does not have a slide step. He just picks the knee up, comes to the plate, or he picks the knee up and comes to first. Hamilton can read that leg kick at all. He's got an easy stolen base.
Again, Billy going back to the bag while the pitch was delivered. So far not reading Smith well. I love the chess match here. Do you send Hamilton with 2 outs? Do you hope Votto hits one into the gap? You don't run him. If anyone can score from first easily on a hit, it's Billy Hamilton. So far, Smith wanting no part of Votto. 3 balls, no strikes. Jay Bruce on deck. The 3-0. Swinging away is Votto. Fouls it out of play. Bruce has been the ultimate Brewers killer. Votto on that list as well as Brandon Phillips. Three balls, 1 strike. Hamilton takes his lead from first. Thornburg will throw over again. Excuse me, Smith. Looks like the Reds' Will Smith, the only lefty in the Brewers bullpen. Cingrani, the only lefty for the Reds. Here comes the 3-1. There goes Hamilton, foul back. Billy got a good jump.
And Votto had a good swing at that pitch. Fastball down and in. But if you're Craig Counsell, even if Smith does not get Votto, you got another left-hander in Bruce on deck.
Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Hamilton will be on the run regardless if Smith is coming plateward. There he goes. Outside. Votto lays off. And it's first and second with 2 outs and Jay Bruce. Back-to-back 2-out walks given up by Will Smith. Jay Bruce, a .286 career hitter off of Will Smith, 2 for 7. And one of those 2 hits, a home run. First pitch to Jay. There goes Hamilton to third. Forget about it. There's no one even covering third base.
This puts a little bit of added intrigue because Smith is going to want to throw Bruce breaking balls, but if he bounces one and it gets past Lucroy, the game's over.
The 1-0. Big cut, gets past. Here comes Billy to the plate. Throw, forget about it. Reds win. Exactly what happened, Cowboy. Speed kills. And Billy Hamilton stealing third. Ball gets away from Lucroy, and the Reds win the walk-off victory.
Game-changing speed. We talk about it all the time. Talked about it yesterday about Hamilton disrupting the defense, putting them in compromising positions, and he comes up huge here today.
Our Miller time moment. Billy Hamilton, ball in the dirt. Lucroy tried to get it. Errant throw, and Hamilton, after recording his 150th career stolen base of third, put the pressure on Will Smith, put it in the dirt, and the Reds with a walk-off victory. And Billy Hamilton standing by with Jeff Pecora.
Jim and Billy, it was imperative that you get to third base there. You saw the third baseman playing off. That was an easy stolen base for number 150 in your career, wasn't it?
Oh, definitely. Like I said, I wanted to get close to home as I can. Like I said, you ever said pass ball, anything, we score a run. So.
Now, I know that feels good. Now, that had to feel good. That had to feel good.
That felt real good. It's hot out here, too, so that felt real good. But, yeah, man, getting back to the point where I can get to third base and like any type of pass ball, I can score. And like I said, came out big for us.
Now, you know, against Jay Bruce, left-handed pitchers want to throw breaking balls. So anything in the dirt, you were going to come, weren't you?
Oh, definitely. Like I said, I got a big enough lead where third baseman was back far enough so I could, if it bounced anywhere, I could get there.
We just talked about this the other day against Garza, how much you like to play games with the pitchers when you're out there on the base pass, don't you?
Yes.
You don't need to take a shower now.
I'm good. I'm good. It's hot, so I feel good.
No, but you love playing games with the pitchers, don't you?
Oh, definitely. That's my job. Anytime I get on base, I want to be able to do stuff like this. And like I said, anything to get us some wins is always big for us.
So now you win today, you win the series, you start the second half with two wins out of 3 games.
Oh, that's always big. Like I said, we need all the wins we can get. And like I said, we have to a good second half start. So looking forward to more.
Congratulations on a big win and a big game.
Thank you.
Hi, buddy. Billy Hamilton. You know, Jim, we've talked about this whole series. Speed kills. You guys talked about it up there. And you said it right before. You knew he wanted to throw that breaking ball. And Brantley said if it gets in the dirt, look out. He made it home. Reds win. Buddy, back to you.
Billy ball. It's fun to watch. And we watched it here as the Reds take 2 out of 3 from the Brewers. Lots to talk about on Reds Live, the post-game edition. Coming up next.